What burns more calories, weightlifting or cardio? So recently I saw another coach posting online about how calories burned through a weight training session and a cardio session are very similar. So let's actually break it down to see if that's true. So it's not as straightforward as you might think, because you need to take things into consideration such as weight, height, body fat percentage, intensity of the training session, and so on. So for example, if you are doing a weightlifting session and you are doing a very low intensity session, you might burn around 5 calories. Okay, so let's say light. You might burn around 5 calories per minute. Okay, it's all going to be per minute. And if you were to do a light intensity cardio session, you're probably looking at around 5 to 10 calories per minute. Okay, so that might look similar, but we're going to go into a bit more detail very shortly. If you're doing a moderate session, you might burn 5 to 8 calories per minute during weight training. And if you're doing moderate intensity running or cycling, you might be looking at, say, 10 to 12 calories per minute. So as you can see here, slightly more in the cardio section. And if you are doing a high intensity session, you're looking at around 8 to 12 in a weight training session, and you're looking at around 10 to 20 in a cardio session. As you can see here, as you increase the intensity, the amount of calories burned through cardio is slightly more than the amount of calories burned through weight training. Now, it's not a huge difference, so let's actually go into this in a little bit more detail. Now, again, you need to take into consideration that this is going to vary person to person. This is just a rough ballpark figure that I'm presenting here. Let's say you train for 1 hour in the gym. Does that mean you're going to be lifting weights for that 1 hour? No. Let's say one set roughly takes around, let's say 30 seconds. So if you are training for 30 seconds every minute, or 30 seconds for that minute, you are going to burn half of that. So that would be 4 to 6 per minute, because you're training for 30 and you're resting for 30 seconds. However, the rest period is far greater than 30 seconds, isn't it? It's normally 2 to 3 minutes. So let's say for the entire duration of that hour gym session you are doing, you are only training for, let's say, 20 to 30 minutes. We then need to times that by 20 and by 30. We times it by 10, very simple. That's 40 to 60. So if we times it by 20, that would be 80 to 120 for 20 minutes, or it would be 120 to 180 for 30 minutes. So if you are training for 1 hour in the gym, you are lifting weights for only 30 minutes, you're only going to be burning around 120 to 180 calories during that weight training session. Now, of course, you're going to be burning calories on top of that just through resisting. So let's just say another 100 calories, for example. That takes that total up to 200 to 300 calories, very roughly burned in an hour's weight training session. Now let's look at the cardio. Now this isn't just like walking, this is slightly higher intensity, so it could be a moderate to low jog, it could be a medium cycle, or it could be a very intense, hit stroke, high rock style training session. Now, that intensity is much greater. So again, if we're going to go for the very high intensity here, which is going to be, some intense running or intense cycle or something like that, we're going to be burning 10 to 20 calories per minute. However, when we're running constantly. So it would be 60 times 10 to 20, which is obviously 600 to 1200 calories burnt in 1 hour. So that means we burn 2 times the amount doing cardio than we do in a weight training session for 1 hour. Now, that is not to say weight training is bad, but I am sick and tired of seeing people slate cardio and say that weight training is better for fat loss. Cardio is literally going to help that so much. Now, hear me out. Weight training, yes, it should be the staple of any training program. You should be lifting weights somewhere between 2 to 5 times per week. This is because it is going to build and retain muscle mass. It is going to promote a healthier lifestyle. The more muscle you have, particularly as you age, you are going to live a healthier life. You're going to be able to play with your grandkids. You're going to be able to carry food in from the supermarket. You're going to be able to go on nice walks. If you do not do that, you're going to struggle to walk up the stairs when you're older. You're going to struggle carrying shopping, and it's just going to make life harder. If we're talking about vanity metrics, it's going to make you look better. It's going to make you feel better because you look better. You're going to have more confidence. You're going to enjoy life more. Life, I can tell you this, is better when you're in good shape and you have some muscle mass. You might think I'm a dick for saying that, but it's true. If you get in shape, you build a good amount of muscle mass and you feel confident, your life will improve in every other aspect. That's my opinion, but I truly believe that that is true. On top of that, the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest, which means you can eat more calories, which makes dieting easier. If you are a bigger person and you have more muscle, your body is going to just burn more calories. That's simple. It's literally a fact. So the more muscle mass you have, the more you can eat. It just makes dieting easier in the future, doesn't it? Okay. So muscle mass is imperative. This is not me slating muscle mass or weight training. It is so important and your training program should be based around this. But cardio is not going to hinder your progress. It is going to help your progress. It is going to speed up your progress. Since when did burning 600 to 1200 calories in 1 hour become bad for fat loss? You do not need to do cardio. It's going to make your dieting easier. This could start, if you're starting out and you're new to the gym, you should just include some walking. You don't need to do anything intense, just add 10,000 steps or 2,000 steps more than you're currently doing per day. Aim for around 7 to 10,000 is a sweet spot. If you do more than that, that's great. As you get fitter and as you become more confident, you can increase the amount of steps you're doing per day, anywhere up to like 20,000, or you can add in an hour's cardio or 30-minute cardio or 20 minutes of cardio. If you're a busy person, it might make more sense for you to do 20 minutes intense cardio than try and get an hour's walk in because you have less time. It might make sense for you to do 15 minutes of cardio every other day because you can burn more calories in a shorter window. There is no world in which burning 600 to 1200 calories in 1 hour is bad for fat loss. Should you be doing this every single day? No. That can become a problem. That can be slightly catabolic. It is the opposite to lifting weights, which is anabolic, okay? This can hinder your muscle gain if you're doing too much and you're not eating enough protein. But if you have everything else locked in, you are training 3 to 5 times a week, you're getting plenty of steps in weekly, and you want to speed up the process or burn fat quicker, or you hit a plateau, add in some cardio and it will speed up the process and it will help you out. It's not going to kill your gains. It's not bad for you. I don't know why people are slating cardio, but the fact of the matter is cardio burns more calories than weight training, but both are exceptional for fat loss. And if you want any of my free stuff, that is training split examples, that is my low calorie, high protein recipe book, that is my going out cheat sheet. Everything is in the description and the comments below, as is my application to my online one-to-one coaching. Drop a like and a comment for the sake of the algorithm. Let me know if there's any other video you would like me to cover. And as always, subscribe if you have yet to do so. See you on the next one.